Here's an urgent alert from the Student Loan Hotline. The average student loan debt is $25,000. Have you been out of college for 10 or more years and you're still making your student loan payments? If you are struggling with paying off your student loan, if you are past due, we can help. Nationwide Student Loan Relief can now restructure your student loans. We can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop harassing collection calls, and even eliminate your student loan payment. If you can't afford your student loans, or if you're past due and you need help, you must call right now. We will restructure your loan or your money back, and that's a guarantee. So call the Student Loan Hotline right now. 800-949-8707. 800-949-8707. 800-949-8707.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, an inside look at the trillion. Used to be billion. Now it's trillion-dollar business of sports. Deal-making, endorsements, law, politics, everything other than the X's and O's. And it's an interesting month, obviously, heading into baseball's All-Star game. Red Sox kind of buttressing votes. So are the Cubs and the White Sox on that side of it. NBA, NHL awards, getting ready for the next season. Everybody's waiting for the NFL season to start. College, Olympics only a few months away. And we have a very interesting perspective. Cal Ripken's impact on baseball, but also his foundation and field development and how it's turning the business of youth development, graduation rates, etc., upside down. But that's a little later. For now, first, let's take a look at some of the big issues that are happening in sports today and this week. Let's start across the pond, then we'll work our way backward. The Champions League has a rule where you're not allowing common ownership teams to play, but the UEFA will allow RB Leipzig and Red Bull Salzburg to play next season. The rules prevent multiple teams from the same ownership from playing in the Champions League, and both teams have some link to Red Bull, obviously. RB Leipzig finishes runner-up in the Bundesliga, earning them a spot in the group stage. Red Bull Salzburg won the Austrian Bundesliga, putting them second qualifying. UEFA will allow both teams to compete because the governing body's adjudicatory arm was satisfied the clubs had fulfilled the requirements needed to allow entries for both sides. But had both teams not been allowed to play, Red Bull Salzburg would have had priority. And here's our take and why it's relevant to us. While some criticize the NFL for its stringent ownership requirements, this is precisely the situation NFL rules seek to avoid. And for the good of the sport, competition organically trumped commerce here. Good for them. Let's stay across and go way across. How about Korea? Amid escalating security concerns about South Korea, the site of the 18 Winter Games, which, by the way, are 7 or 8 months away, hard to believe. NBC considering keeping its top clients in the U.S. Jackson Hole, maybe they dress it up and make it look like Korea.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-797-1256. 800-797-1256. That's 800-797-1256.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
The sun can make your outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable you can't use it. But now there's the Sunsetter Retractable Awning. A Sunsetter Retractable Awning opens and closes in just 60 seconds, and it keeps your patio about 20 degrees cooler. It provides instant shade and protection from the sun's harmful rays. You can get your Sunsetter for as little as $5.99 when you call now to get your special $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit. You're going to love your Sunsetter Retractable Awning. Sunsetter awnings are assembled in America and guaranteed to last. So call 800-692-0268 now to get a free awning idea kit with DVD plus your $200 Sunsetter discount certificate. This is a limited time offer, so call 800-692-0268. That's 800-692-0268 for your free awning idea kit with DVD and $200 discount certificate. There's no obligation, so call 800-692-0268 now.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow, the sports professor. We pick up right where we left off.
South Korea, the site of the 18 Winter Games, which, by the way, are 7 or 8 months away, hard to believe. NBC considering keeping its top clients in the U.S. Jackson Hole, maybe they dress it up and make it look like Korea. But other Olympic participants and sponsors may scale back as well. Jackson Hole is not official for NBC yet, but they may go to another resort. They may go to Korea after all, but they haven't decided. And Scott Blackman, the USOC CEO, commented that the USOC will have less sponsor activation in next year's Olympics than it had in prior ones. And here's my take, and it's obvious. When you're dealing with an unstable neighbor with nuclear weapons at his finger and an uncertain diplomatic climate, better safe than sorry is clearly the name of these games. But it is not all bad for the IOC. IOC and Intel finalized a $400 million deal through 2024. Intel using the deal as a platform to show off a collection of its advanced technical capabilities, drones to 5G mobile collection platforms, virtual reality. Intel plans on pulling out all the stops for the Olympics. It's about, according to them, bringing the Olympics to many, 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 many more people. Drones will be used widely at the 2018 Games, capturing footage from angles that had previously been unattainable or inaccessible. And here's my take. Using 5G mobile connection platforms will help make streaming and connectivity easier on the ground at the Games and lay the groundwork for deploying this technology around the world, and obviously long overdue. How about a international expansion for a domestic organization in theory? IndyCar looking to broaden its horizon. Mark Miles, the CEO, continues his search for new international venues to add to the current slate of races. China and Mexico, two of the more recent destinations Miles looked into, with the goal of adding a race in one of those countries for 18. A recent report confirmed IndyCar believes the best bet for an international race in 2018, Mexico, discussing an event with promoters in China. The Chinese race would likely be added for 19, sticking to the plan of adding one international race annually. For domestic races, the IndyCar Series usually commands a $1 or $2 million sanctioning fee, but series officials seek a higher fee for a race on foreign soil to help teams and series cover costs, obviously with international travel. And the take is this: whether team sports or motorsports, a global footprint remains the blueprint. And obviously for New England and otherwise, IndyCar means another form of racing that is obviously successful and growing and helps everybody. Let's take a look at some of the other issues that are involved beyond just international. How about the international but with a charity perspective? Ahead of Wimbledon, world number one Andy Murray giving his prize money from the Queen's Club Championship to the families of the Grenfell Tower fire. He'll hand over his check to the dozens of families who lost everything in one of Britain's worst peacetime fires. 79 people known to have perished. As admirable as this is for Murray, it's not the first time he's used his tournament winnings as a philanthropic platform. 4 years ago, he donated his winnings from Queens to Royal Marsden Hospital, where his friend Ross Hutchings was being treated for cancer. Other athletes with ties to London and Britain have also pledged to assist the victims. Manchester City midfielder Raheem Sterling promised to give a substantial sum, and Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin plans on donating $63 for every minute he plays at the Euro U21 Championship. The take is this: internationally, as we saw during Hurricane Katrina here and the devastating 2010 Haitian earthquake, for example, sport continually rises to meet global crises needs. Can anyone say Boston strong? Pretty obvious. Let's look at the courts for a minute. Recent Supreme Court ruling could ultimately aid the Washington Redskins. Supreme Court ruled that offensive brand names should be allowed to receive federal trademarks. The case at hand involved Simon Tam, an Asian-American musician and political activist, who named his band the Slants, an attempt to take back a term that was once derogatory. Tam sought to register the name with the U.S. Trademark Office, and the Redskins, along with other Native American sports-related mascots, have been at the forefront of debates for years now about the ethicality of the team's logo and the minority group it represents. Lisa Blatt, the team attorney, said the franchise is thrilled about Tam's court ruling. And my take from a legal perspective is that the ruling in favor of the Slants ultimately begins to resolve the team's long-standing run-in with the government, if not with the naysayers. Clearly not with the naysayers. Hey, how about Sports in the Courts Volume 2? This one may affect you more than anything else. The FTC made its point clear. It does not want the proposed DraftKings FanDuel merger to go through. The FTC released a written complaint outlining its strong rejection of a central argument made by the two daily fantasy sports companies. DraftKings and FanDuel argue they're a subset of a much larger and still growing fantasy sports business, while the FTC rebuts that the immediate choice to win money is what keeps daily fantasy sports going, with social interaction fueling season-long fantasy sports competitions. Also, the FTC argues that the merger did go through, it would essentially monopolize the industry, producing concentration levels well beyond what's necessary to establish a presumption of competitive harm. Legal mumbo-jumbo, to be sure, but the take is this. Both DraftKings and FanDuel suffered heavy financial losses over the past year due to strict regulations on gambling in certain states, and the FTC was not swayed by that. Short term, what you might see in the future is money taken away from signage, from sponsorship, and obviously those obnoxious ads a few years ago. Let's shift to the NBA. Philly trusts the process. time has come once again for the team to shine, according to Philly fans. 5,000 tickets were claimed for an outdoor draft watch party to see Washington point guard Markelle Fultz drafted overall by the hometown team. Momentum building in the city ever since the team traded with the Celtics, but the Celtics, by the way, got Tatum. So who knows what's going to happen. 14,000 season tickets sold for the upcoming season sets a new franchise record. And the Sixers also lead the NBA in new full season ticket packages. After having the top draft pick back-to-back in these years, the Sixers expect to sell out all of their home games this season. The hype is real, but the team needs results on the court. Well, yeah, and the take is this. Sixers CEO Scott O'Neal slowly built trust in his 4 years helming the franchise, and his vision and hard work, hopefully for them anyway, beginning to pay off. Stick around the NBA for extra revenue. The Orlando Magic partnered up with Walt Disney World as part of a deal that will go beyond just a jersey patch. Disney will have an expanded presence at the Amway Center, special seating and hospitality area that may be used for the annual pass holder upgrades during select Magic games. Magic CEO Alex Martins hopes to gain an additional international exposure. And meanwhile, in Minnesota, the Timberwolves announced a deal with San Francisco-based Fitbit. The T-Wolves previously been in talks with local and Chinese companies about a potential jersey sponsorship, but ultimately decided on this partnership because the franchise is taking a fresh look at technology and innovation during a summer of change and rebranding.
The following update is for drivers who pay too much for car insurance due to DUIs, DWIs, tickets, or anything else. By now, you know all too well that SR22 auto insurance is way more than you'd ever want to pay. You probably thought you didn't have a choice, but you were wrong. Our company specializes in low-cost, very affordable SR22 auto insurance for high-risk drivers. We know that mistakes happen, so take pride in being able to offer absolutely free quotes for this very affordable auto insurance meant specifically for you, the overpaying high-risk driver. We're standing by at 800-758-0725. The only thing you need to do is stop waiting around while your monthly payments stay as high as they are. Our knowledgeable representatives are ready for your call at 800-758-0725. The quote is free, and we'll even handle the filings so you could start saving money every month even sooner. Call 800-758-0725. That's 800-758-0725. Once more, 800-758-0725.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-760-4895, 800-760-4895. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-760-4895. 800-760-4895. 800-760-4895. That's 800-760-4895.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow, the sports professor. We pick up right where we left off.
And when you take a look at the numbers, it's not just the numbers as far as long-term deals that were done over time. The Sixers and StubHub make a first commitment on all of this. $5 million annually with StubHub. All of these deals are 3-year deals, and the Kings at 3 years with Blue Diamond Almonds. The Celtics 3 years, $8 million with General Electric. The Brooklyn Nets 3 years, $8 million annually with Infor. That Celtics deal with General Electric looks pretty darn good. Cavaliers 3 years, $5 to $10 million annually with Goodyear Tire and Rubber. Hometown deal with LeBron James. Utah Jazz, 3-year, $4 million with Qualtrics. The bottom line is this. The NBA jersey patch deals continue to grow, all in the wake of the 76ers' bold groundbreaking deal with StubHub last year. There's Leading Edge, then there's all the rest. And that's the way these deals are coming down. How about the bottom line as far as overall national and international development? Well, there's an interesting issue in Vegas before we get into other baseball issues. New UNLV athletic director Desiree Reed Francois is taking a bold first step to show her commitment to her new job. She's living in campus dorms rather than a hotel or apartment before she moves into a permanent residence. Her bottom line is interesting. She's got to overcome a $5 million deficit, and with the heightened focus on Vegas sports as the Golden Knights and Raiders come to town, Reed Francois is very committed to talking about how to deal with the Golden Knights and Raiders presence, which most people would say increase across-the-board spending in Sin City. Meanwhile, with the Raiders planning to leave in the next few years, the A's ramping up their search for a new stadium in Oakland. Recent economic analysis projects that baseball park in the area would be a big boon for Oakland, and they've only broken the 2 million attendance mark once in the last 10 years. The economic analysis solely based on what a facility would generate. Coliseum replacement definitely bring in more fans, but attendance numbers still pale in comparison to other teams around the league. The projections based on an estimate of 2.5 million the ballpark's first year, 2.4 million through the first 10. The Dodgers, remember, led the MLB in attendance last year with over 3.7 million. A's in last place with a marker of 1.5 million. Clearly, they have a lot of ground to make up, but a new ballpark, as history has told us, will benefit the franchise every bit as much as the host city. Well, then finally, in something that's relevant to our interview today, this last weekend at the 2017 U.S. Conference of Mayors in Miami, the Mayors Professional Sports Alliance Committee continued to be a trend spotter and trend setter at the intersection of sports and governance. It chaired by outgoing U.S. Conference of Mayors President Mick Cornett. It focused as a vehicle for women's empowerment, a discussion led by LPGA Commissioner Mike Wan, what sports trends mean for city-specific initiatives, led by Nielsen Sports SVP Stephen Master, and an in-depth examination of new partnerships between Fields and Futures, we talked about that before, in Mick Cornett's Oklahoma City backyard. The mayor, Delaware Life, Dan Towers, the person who put this all together as far as $1.5 million sponsorship and a awareness plan to generate that over time, and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation. I was proud to be a leader of this presentation as well as a lifelong participant with a front row seat to many, many sports-centric initiatives it supported around the U.S. It's only getting better, and the Ripken Foundation has been a significant part of that. By the way, the key to Fields and Futures and economic impact in graduation is this. At the conference, the folks who structured the studies about it said that when they play, they stay. The Oklahoma City Dollars in the empirical study talked about graduation rates 2.9 for a student athlete versus 2.6 for a non-athlete, and better path to graduation. 99% of student athletes graduated, 81% of non-athletes. It's pretty darn clear. So kudos to Dan Towers, Mayor Cornett, Oklahoma City, the completion of the fields, and the national awareness plan that's about to be unfolded. And by the way, for the past 16 years, the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation has worked to implement youth development programs that directly address the problems facing at-risk youth in distressed communities around the country. The Ripkens created the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation to honor his legacy of the family patriarch, longtime coach, and mentor, Cal Ripken Sr., and the Ripken Foundation uses sports-themed programs to bring police officers, youth partners, and undeserved kids aged 9 to 14 together on a level playing field to learn valuable life skills. And in addition, the Ripken Foundation's Youth Development Partnership Initiative creates these clean and safe places for kids to play on multi-purpose synthetic surface fields that promote healthy living in an outdoor recreational facility. In just 6 years, the Ripken Foundation created 65 completed parks across the country, 20 states, impacting 280,000 kids annually. 2016, it impacted over 1.2 million kids nationwide through the Youth Development Program, Youth Development Park, and Mentor programs. It is a big deal. Steve Salem is the president of the foundation and basically the captain of this ship all around the country. Steve has a lot to say. He talked at the Oklahoma City announcement of Fields and Futures. And here is the deal. Steve Salem. Inside the boardroom, beyond the scoreboard, business of sports, trillion-dollar sports business, and in many ways it revolves around some of those key industry leaders who have the right business acumen but also the ability to do the right thing. We have one here, the representative, really the top guy, Cal Ripken's glorious career, Ironman, Hall of Fame, but he does so much more than that. The Ripken Foundation, rather than me waxing eloquent on it or trying to wax eloquent, Steve Salem, its president. How are you, Steve?
Fine, thank you. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the Ripken Foundation, just an elevator speech. And it's a long elevator ride, so give us an idea of what the foundation does.
So what we are doing is literally in all 50 states trying to provide opportunities. We use baseball as a hook, but it really is just a hook. Provide opportunities to kids who have been left behind, at-risk kids, distressed communities, using baseball to provide them with a platform to move forward in life in a positive way.
There are a lot of people whose foundation mandate is similar to that. The difference is Cal has scaled it to the point of unbelievable national success. How special is Cal Ripken to work with?
He's incredible. Nobody cares more about these kids than Cal and his brother Bill. They are 100% committed to, beyond their baseball careers, making a difference in the lives of these kids, and that's what they want as their legacy. They don't want to be remembered for what they did on the field. They want to be remembered for what they did off the field.
Give us an example of your kind of core business facility. Perfect world, mixture of fields, education. We understand that there is a STEM training involvement as well, female empowerment. You do it all.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things. We really are broken down into two primary areas. First, we build what we call youth development parks, which are synthetic turf, $1 million plus parks in the toughest neighborhoods in America, so that the kids who reside there have the same opportunities to play and play anything that our kids have. These kids, you go into a tough inner city neighborhood. First of all, if you end up there, you're probably lost. You're not going there intentionally. But when you do go there, you don't see the kids. It's not that they don't live there. It's not safe for these kids to be outside. You'll see the drug dealers. You'll see the gang members. You'll see some things going on that nobody wants to see. But you don't see kids playing. And that's what we're trying to provide first, a place for these kids to play whatever it is they want to play. Now, these parks happen to be state-of-the-art, spectacular places, so that no matter where these kids go in life, they'll never see a nicer park. And if they want to play competitive sports, now they have the opportunity. If they just want to go for a walk and play kickball with their friends, now they have that opportunity. And then the second thing we do is we have a
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780. Nobody really needs or wants home security until it's too late. You've heard the statistics about how many burglaries there are per day. You see the news. You know there are people out there that do bad things. The best way to help protect your home and your property is with an ADT monitored system from Protect Your Home, an ADT authorized premier provider. Call right now to get a free wireless home security system valued at $850. An ADT monitored system can help protect your home from fires, theft, floods, and call for emergency help. Call now to find out more about our $850 free wireless home security system and start enjoying the peace of mind of security today. Call 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281. This offer is for new customers only. Termination fees apply. $99 customer installation charge and 36-month monitoring agreement required. All for details. License terms and conditions available at secureathome.com.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow, the sports professor. We pick up right where we left off.
Neighborhoods in America so that the kids who reside there have the same opportunities to play and play anything that our kids have. These kids, you go into a tough inner city neighborhood. First of all, if you end up there, you're probably lost. You're not going there intentionally. But when you do go there, you don't see the kids. It's not that they don't live there. It's not safe for these kids to be outside. You'll see the drug dealers, you'll see the gang members, you'll see some things going on that nobody wants to see, but you don't see kids playing. And that's what we're trying to provide first, a place for these kids to play whatever it is they want to play. Now, these parks happen to be state-of-the-art, spectacular places, so that no matter where these kids go in life, they'll never see a nicer park. And if they want to play competitive sports, now they have the opportunity. If they just want to go for a walk and play kickball with their friends, now they have that opportunity. And then the second thing we do is we have a group of programs like the ones you mentioned, STEM. We're putting STEM centers in inner city schools. We have a program called GREAT, which is to empower young women. We've got a program called Badges for Baseball, and think about this, knowing what's going on across America these days. We're going to the toughest neighborhoods, the same neighborhoods where these police officers and kids are killing each other and where the rioting's taking place. And we're providing them with what they need to play baseball together. And the police officers become the coach. And the kids, we're talking about middle school age kids primarily. And so now these kids look at the police officer instead of the bad guy. He's the coach. And think about who in your life you didn't want to disappoint when you were a kid. It's the coach. And think about whose life lessons you think about today, 50 years later. If it's not your dad and your mom, it's your coach. And so we're changing that, we're changing the dynamic of these communities and the trajectory of these kids' lives.
You get into a community, Cal Ripken's name, obviously very important, but it doesn't close the deal. It gets the door open. What's the kind of chronology? Is it the mayor? Is it an appropriate public-private partnership? Do you deal with groups like the Police Athletic League and other community support organizations, or is it all of that?
It's all of that. It varies community to community. What we're looking for in any community, big or small, are people who care first about the kids. It's not about Cal. We don't have an ego. We don't care if anybody ever knows we were involved. We're just trying to help these kids, and we're looking for like-minded people. And sometimes it's the mayor, sometimes it's the local police athletic league, sometimes it's the Boys and Girls Club, sometimes it's a successful, wealthy individual who is at a point in his life where it's time to give back. We hope it's all four of those and more, because that's when the program works the best. But we're looking for people who care and who have the ability to help generate resources so that we can bring them to these kids.
You have and this is a business show, so you have a scalable business, basically. Give me an idea of the numbers, your organization itself and your goals and aspirations, and how many projects do you want to do in a certain period of time?
Right. So we 12 years ago we were basically a $1 million organization. Today we have an annual fundraising goal of $35 million, which we will hit. We have built 65 youth development parks across the country, and doing the math, it's at least $1 million a piece. Some of them were multi-million-dollar projects. We invest about half of the resources to bring those projects to bear, and the local community brings the other half. Our goal by 2020 is to have 150 of these parks. 12 years ago, we were serving or impacting about 25,000 kids, primarily through local baseball clinics. Today, this year, we'll impact over 1.2 million kids. Our goal is to get to 2 million kids per year by 2020. So it's been a fun ride. It's a little bit overwhelming, but Cal's name carries a lot of clout when you go into these communities, but it's his passion and his commitment. You know, he puts his money where his mouth is. There's no bullshit. I don't know if I can say that.
Well, you did. Not a problem. We realize your intensity.
I mean, he really passionately cares, and it's contagious.
And you could tell the BS prohibition doesn't stop at Cal. I mean, you are a guy who puts your money where your mouth is as well. Steve Salem, your background, Boys and Girls Clubs, but you come out of the nonprofit business as well, right?
Absolutely. I actually did a short stint with the New York Yankees out of law school.
Well, they're not a nonprofit business.
They're definitely not nonprofit. And then went to Boys and Girls Clubs of America for 15 years, ended as the vice president of government relations there, running the government relations office, and then went over at the request of Cal and Bill to the Ripken Foundation.
It's an interesting experience. Can you give us some sense of the similarities and differences, probably more similarities, between running a mid-level corporation versus the nonprofit that you're running today?
Well, to me, my philosophy is there's no difference. You need a product that people want to invest in. You need to keep your word, do what you say you're going to do. You need to generate interest and excitement. The challenge that we have in the nonprofit world that maybe you don't have in the for-profit world is we don't really have a product to sell. We're selling the heartstrings. But in every other way, we have built and continue to build our business the same way we would build a for-profit company, and it's working.
You're in a city, obviously, you succeed at a alarming successful rate. But what are some of the one biggest challenge you have when you're in a community to be able to pull a deal off?
It's changed over time. Originally, the biggest challenge was, Ripken, that's Baltimore. We're in Oklahoma City. What do we care about Baltimore? That's changed as our work reputation has gotten out there, as the word has spread. I think the biggest challenge is finding, you're going into some really, really tough neighborhoods. I mean, the worst of the worst in many cases. And it's very hard to find a sustainable existing program because that's what we need to partner with. And in some cases, it's just not there. And it's very hard. But once we go in and we say we're coming, we do not turn back. So that's probably our biggest challenge.
Have you seen the economy directly affect you positively or negatively as you go forward? Is it sunny skies ahead, or do we have issues where you're concerned?
When the economy crashed in 2009, I think, it hit all of us, and if you were able to stay flat, you were very successful. And we actually grew a little bit through that period of time. And so we've been very fortunate for a number of reasons, including having the founder that we have. But it's always a challenge in this business. No matter how successful you are completely dependent on the generosity of others. And so it's not just whether your fortunes change, what about their fortunes? And so it's all, no matter what, that's where you lose your sleep.
The Ripken brand, as you said, began with a Baltimore Regional Hall of Fame, clearly national baseball-wise, but a regional brand. Now it's national, and you're taking this concept beyond baseball?
Well, baseball's our hook, of course. It's our shtick because of the name.
Right.
But baseball is not, we're not limited to baseball in any way. We don't care if these kids know how to play baseball. We don't care if they're very interested in baseball. We're trying to get them active. Huge problems in inner city communities today is obesity, juvenile diabetes, and the lack of nutrition. When these kids are, and this is what we're dealing with, when one of these kids is hungry, they take $1, they go buy a Coca-Cola, and they chug it because it gives you that fake fill sensation. So that's their meal. So many of these kids tell us that the only reason they go to school during the day is because they're hungry and they know they can get a meal at lunchtime. So, you're talking about issues and challenges that are very hard for us to relate to, having not come up in that community. These kids are being raised by their great-great-grandmothers. They don't know who the father is in many cases. Their mother and grandmother are not around because they're on the street, and it's their great-great-grandmother, and that's no exaggeration. And the great-great-grandmother, think about this, is 55 years old.
Yeah. What do you say to the Charles Barkley's of the world? He'd probably recant the statement right now if he had a chance, but that athletes are not role models and they have no obligation to give back.
Well, I disagree with this statement that they're not role models. Whether or not they have an obligation to give back is for someone else to decide. I don't judge people like that, but they are role models, whether they like it or not, because that's who these kids are watching and who they're imitating and who they want to be like. And so I do think we all have an obligation, because we're all role models to these kids, to do the right thing, do what we say we're going to do. And that's what we try and teach the kids in our programs.
How do you and Cal feel when you're about to watch the first game played in a new facility that you've just caused to be open?
It is the most overwhelmingly wonderful feeling you can imagine to see these kids come onto it's their field. We build these $1 million fields and we give it to the community. It's theirs, not ours. They own it. And what we often do is we'll put a ribbon out, and instead of the mayor, and the people with all the money cutting the ribbon, we'll have the kids run through the ribbon. And so, picture going into West Baltimore where the rioting takes place, and we're building 2 parks there. We've already built 2 there now since the rioting. Picture those kids, the younger brothers of the kids and sisters that you saw rioting on TV, lined up, so excited, cannot wait for the chaperones to say go, and these kids come running out and they run through the ribbon. on this lush green. The synthetic turf is beautiful green, or whatever color you want, by the way. You can have purple, too. We have a purple one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's overwhelming.
Al Ripken's vision, Steve Salem, is in very good hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with Beyond the Scoreboard. The Orlando Magic and Minnesota Timberwolves have both signed 3-year jersey patch sponsorship deals. Magic, Walt Disney World is part of a deal that will go beyond just the jersey patch. Disney will have an expanded presence at the Amway Center, special seating and hospitality area that may be used for annual pass holder upgrades during select Magic games. By partnering with the local Walt Disney World Resort, Magic CEO Alex Martins hopes to gain additional international exposure. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, Timberwolves inked a deal with San Francisco-based Fitbit. The T-Wolves previously been in talks with both local and Chinese companies about a potential jersey sponsorship, but ultimately decided on this partnership because the franchise is taking a fresh look at technology and innovation during a summer of change and rebranding. The NBA jersey patch deals continue to grow, all in the wake of the 76ers' bold, groundbreaking deal with StubHub last year. There's leading edge, and then there's all the rest. New UNLV Athletic Director Desiree Reed-Francois taking a bold first step to show her commitment to her new job. She's living in campus dorms. She's been living in a dormitory on campus since the beginning of the month, rather than a hotel or an apartment, before she moves into permanent residences. She's been working 16-hour days and trying to meet individually with all 246 current athletic staff members that she inherited. When I first set out to do this, I wanted to be part of a campus and to get to know our student athletes, to get to know my colleagues. So what better way to do it than live in a dorm? She said it's been a great experience. She's tasked with turning around an athletics program, struggled as of late, coming into this year with a projected $5 million deficit. And with the heightened focus on Vegas sports as the Golden Knights and Raiders come to town, she's taken on a far more scrutinized role than she would have a couple of years ago. In all likelihood, the Golden Knights and Raiders' presence will only increase across the board sports spending in Sin City. I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow, and that's Beyond the Scoreboard. Well, we'd like to thank Steve Salem for talking about the Ripken perspective and the fields and futures all over the country. Look for the power of sports and the significant impact of fields and futures in Oklahoma City and nationally. We'd like to thank you all in subscribing to our iTunes feed, Stitcher, Google Play, and Audio Boom. And if you want to see all of these topics, CNNNE.com, and the same thing in Chicago. And join us next week for other big issues as we go Beyond the Scoreboard.